Hello and welcome to this new episode of An Encounter. And today we welcome on this set His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Swami, who is a global teacher of Vedic culture. Welcome, Your Holiness.
Thank you very much, Rishi.
And this is your second time here.
Yeah, it's my second time here.
And we welcome you. So you are also a specialist, a global teacher of Indian Vedic culture, Indian knowledge system, and you focus also on the teachings of Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. And today, the theme we're going to talk about is very much of concern to the world, is about global peace and harmony. So today we're seeing, people in many places of the world, conflicts, wars going on. And where does the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita come here to find a solution to those conflicts?
Thank you very much, Richie. First of all, let's be clear. Now, one of the reasons why people go into conflicts is that the condition so we human beings, we tend to be dominated with this ideology of false proprietorship. What I don't own, I try to claim ownership.
Yes.
And then there's a conflict with the actual person who is in charge of it. And this is one of the major causes of wars, false proprietorship. We tend to use the little powers we have to usurp other people's properties, other people's assets. The global village could be a peaceful place if we just understand, like what Krishna mentions in the Gita, Mama Evam So Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are all parts and parcels of the Supreme. And with that principle in place, if we try to implement that ideology or that conceptual framework in our daily dealings, and as much as possible, avoid inflicting pain on anybody, then the world will be at peace. And the second point is that we, in most cases, especially those who are the hem of affairs of countries or communities, we tend to think that we are the enjoyers. And so, but we are not the enjoyers. In fact, this is the false conception that leads to all types of conflict.
Yeah.
Even domestic conflicts at home. Parents have issues with their kids or spouses against each other, and in the communities. Yeah, this whole idea that I am the enjoyer is a major problem in the global village.
But yes, like you said, people say they are the enjoyer. I mean, people want to have a good life. I mean, enjoy, good time. But can they do that while being at peace with each other?
They can do that while being at peace with each other. But because the dominance of that ideology is so is all pervasive all over the world. And so, if we can understand that everything in this world is meant for the enjoyment of God, and if we try to serve that absolute truth in earnest, I mean, it's like if you water the root of a tree, the tree will flourish. The branches, the twigs, the fruits of that tree will flourish. But now, we want to just water the root, the leaves.
Okay.
How you water a leaf and you expect the tree to flourish?
Yes.
So this is the problem. Individually, we are like different angers of the tree of life. But God is actually the root. And so if we water the root, if we try to satisfy the absolute truth with the fundamental understanding that we are a family, everybody, it doesn't matter your skin color or your race.
Yeah.
We are one family. And see, in most cases, there are tribal conflicts, there are community conflicts, there are international conflicts, but family members, they try to come together. If even there is a little misunderstanding, they quickly settle themselves. Because we don't see ourselves as a family, and that sucks, and that brings a problem.
Yeah. So what you mean to say that, okay, within the family, we're connected in some way, by name, by blood, by lineage, and then we try to see, to find a solution because we have some kind of connection.
Yeah.
And when it comes to communities, to internationally, countries, we don't see ourselves connected.
No.
This is the problem. So where is the connection then? How to make this connection?
The connection, we are spiritual by nature. You see, this body that we're looking at is just like a tabernacle, like a jacket. But the real person is within this body, is the spirit soul. And that spirit soul has the same characteristics, whether it's in a dog, a female, a male, a giant, a dwarf. It is characterized by consciousness. And so if we can identify with this, with our spiritual reality, peace will not be far-fetched. But as long as we are thinking, we are Americans, we are Australians, we are Iranians, this bodily identification is the cause of all of these challenges we have in dealing with peace. See, let me tell you one thing. After the First World War, the League of Nations was established to bring peace, to facilitate peace in this world. Peace was not forthcoming. After the Second World War, we have the United Nations to facilitate peace. Is there peace in this world? So let's be clear. Let's understand that the material problems we are facing, they have some deep-rooted solutions in spirituality. Except we come to that understanding and work towards that objective criteria, it is difficult because we've been trying to bring peace to this world by diplomacies and here and there, but our greed is still there.
Yes. Now, let's come back to the Bhagavad Gita. So, there, Lord Krishna reveals all the teachings in the Bhagavad Gita in a time of war to his friend Arjuna. And at that time where in the Mahabharata, a very tenseful situation, Arjuna asking questions about life and death, why should I fight? And bringing the Bhagavad Gita in that time of war gives the answers to what Arjuna asks. Can we, at this time, where the world is pretty much in a whole lot of conflicts, bring in what Lord Krishna reveals in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna?
Yeah, why not? Because it's the same issues of greed. What was the war? What was the root cause of the Battle of Kurukshetra? Greed of the Kauravas. The Kauravas wanted to usurp the whole of the Pandavas' assets and properties. And Krishna even personally came to act like a mediator, but they rejected Krishna's mediation. And then finally Krishna told Arjuna, look, you have to fight for your rights. Because here you have a situation where someone overtly is trying to usurp another person's property. And look, if you look at most of the wars on the planet, it's about usurpation.
Greed, again.
Yeah. And so we should understand that the violence we are perpetrating on the planet is another issue. I say the paradox is that we are committing so much of violence and we are expecting peace.
Yes.
How is that?
Yeah.
How is that? And so we should really reflect on this concept that if we want peace, we should try to, stamp out violence in our lives. And look, according to the American Psychological Science Association, violence means when we hurt someone or a group, and we keep hurting people or groups. How many people have been assassinated on this planet just because you are expressing yourself? You will be killed. And the person who did it may go scot-free. Or someone may say, oh, he has a mental problem.
Yes.
But you know what? Anytime we shed blood, it accumulates, and then it falls back in the form of wars. And so we need to understand the root cause of all of these wars or conflicts or these killings, mass killings, is the violence that we have been perpetrating.
Yeah.
And we have to see how we are eradicating violence in our lives.
Now, when you see those people engaged in violence, perpetrators, but at some point they also suffer. I mean, when you become violent, it's your body, it's your mind, which is, they are not at peace. They are not in peace with themselves. Your anger. Anger is, I mean, it causes damage to your body, to your organs.
Of course.
Yeah, and how can people be happy while perpetrating violence to others?
They're not happy. The people who are perpetrating, they're not happy. But then that unhappiness also spreads to other people in the community or around them. Because, you see, what traditionally happens is that we are part of the environment. And environment impacts on our values and lives. This is a general principle in management science. It's called the field theory. The field theory stipulates, field theory was propounded by a German psychologist, Professor Lewin, and Lewin, in his theory, stipulated that after a series of experiments, he came to the conclusion that the environment impacts on our values. And so humans are part of the environment. When we act in ways that create some type of setbacks in people's emotions and lifestyles, we will also be part of that system, and we suffer also some consequences. Sometimes the suffering is intergenerational, unfortunately. It's requital, that is how requital epistemology works. If someone commits, you see, if someone commits a crime, for instance, in most countries, someone commits a crime, if even you're a child, the cops will come after your parents.
Yeah.
You're not taking care of your child properly. So the parent may say, well, I'm innocent, I didn't know about it. But because it's part of the family, it's part of your blood. And so you should be responsible, you should take care of that person, you didn't do your duty. And therefore, it is important for us to understand that requital, the universal requital, is just a complex thing. And see, when Massachusetts rabbi in America, this was not a long time ago, a recent situation. There was a rabbi, a religious person, a spiritual person. He's supposedly a good guy. But he had a child, he begetted a child, and the child suffered from progeria. Progeria is a disease that, turns someone to an old age within 15 years and you die.
Yeah.
So he wrote a book, Why Bad Things Happen to Good People. He thought, I'm a good guy.
Yes.
I gave my life to God. Why this also happened to me? Why progeria for my child?
Yeah.
So sometimes we also think that, we are very peaceful. So why did someone do this to us? Why did someone have to bomb us? Why this? See, the laws of nature are very difficult to understand. And except we go into retrospect, then we'll be able to understand that we might have committed some type of, violence to other people. But essentially right now, what leaders of the world need to equip themselves with is at least some spiritual understanding of our pristine identity, our original identity. We are not these bodies. We are not these skin colors. We are not these races. And therefore, the Bhagavad Gita stipulates that people should really endeavor to become involved in serving the root of the tree, devotional service to the Supreme Absolute Truth. Because that helps to shed all of these, our horrible emotions of hatred, greed, anger, and all this stuff.
So, Your Holiness, does that going to spiritual head, spiritual path, does that mean let it go of everything we have, every material? I mean, letting go, we don't work, we just stay in a place, we just meditate?
No, because, see, sometimes people miscue or misrepresent spirituality.
Yeah.
But spirituality entails some type of integration. And for those who have studied, calculus, when you talk of integration, it is difficult. Because integration is the foundation of calculus. And so spirituality requires that we should integrate our spiritual practices with our professional or professional careers. It's not that people should, should just give up their jobs and then go to live in the forest and sit by the river and meditate and all this. No. See, I'm a research fellow.
Yes.
But then I'm also a priest. I'm also a Swami.
Yes.
Last year, Rishi, listen.
Yeah.
Last year, in fact, I broke a record.
Yeah.
I'm the first PhD holder who presented 5 research papers in one day at a conference in Oxford. And so one could say, well, if you're a priest, you don't need to do anything.
Yeah. Yes, we would like to inform our viewers that you are a doctorate holder in applied management and decision sciences.
Yeah.
And like you said, you presented 5 papers at the Oxford University. Your research, so apart from being a spiritual leader...
Yeah, I'm a research fellow. Apart from traveling around all over the world as a preacher, I'm also a research fellow.
So, like me, a journalist, presenter, I can be a spiritual person.
Of course, yeah.
Doctor can be an engineer. And anyone who is working, I mean, a bus conductor, someone who sweeps the roads can do that.
Sure.
You need to find the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And, well, we're reaching quite the end of our program, Your Holiness. One thing that people don't realize, and you had realized that, we are born, someday we're going to leave that. And what do we leave for the rest of the world?
What is the legacy?
Yes.
We should leave a good impression behind that if we are not physically there on the planet, people should remember us and say, oh, Richie, he was such a compassionate guy. He was such a cool-headed guy and always there for you. Sometimes we think we are too busy. We don't give quality time to people. But the opposite should be the case, that we are meant for each other. In fact, how can we say we love someone when we don't give quality time to them? So even in this world, even especially for the leaders, they need to understand that life is a continuum. Life doesn't just end now. It has been there before, it is going to continue. And so there is nothing we do that we go away stock-free.
So what is your message for peace around the world?
Message for peace, we should stop being violent. We should stop being violent to each other, to our family members, even to the animals and to the unborn. To the unborn.
So, Your Holiness, Bhakti Vasudeva Swami, thank you very much for sharing your knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and also what it means in today's world. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Dear viewers, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time for another episode of Encounter. Goodbye.